Welcome back. U.S. stocks are slightly higher so far on Thursday, with investors reluctant to trade aggressively ahead of the Federal Reserve's interest rate decision coming up in about 75 minutes. For more on what we can expect from the Fed, Africa 54 business correspondent Alexis Christoforous joins us from New York. Hello, Alexis.
Thank you, Vincent. Wall Street is counting down the minutes to the most highly anticipated Federal Reserve decision in recent history. The Fed's decision on interest rates is expected at 2 p.m. Eastern Time today, and investors are being cautious amid split opinions on whether the Fed will raise rates for the first time since 2006. Some investors are betting that recent volatility in global markets and increasing evidence of slowing growth in China will prompt the Fed to hold fire this month. Traders are pricing in a 30% chance the Fed will raise rates by a quarter percentage point today. That is down from 48% before China's currency devaluation last month. Odds of a move at the December meeting now sit at 64%. Vincent?
Well, Alexis, how are African nations dealing with the uncertainty of the Fed's decision?
Well, some economists believe that higher U.S. interest rates could trigger an exodus of capital from emerging markets and possibly cause chaos in already fragile capital markets. The uncertainty around the Fed's upcoming decision has driven many African currencies to near record lows. Policymakers from Kenya to Ghana and South Africa have tightened monetary policy to ward off inflation threats and bolster their currencies. The shilling has dropped 14% against the dollar this year, while Zambia's kwacha, the worst performing currency in Africa, has slumped 36%. Falling prices for commodities such as copper, oil, and iron ore have contributed to the slide in sentiment towards emerging markets. These currency jitters have caused the rand to weaken 14% this year against the dollar, and it's forced South Africa's central bank to raise the benchmark interest rate for the first time in a year in July. It now sits at 6%. Both Kenya and South Africa will hold interest rate meetings next week. Both are expected to keep borrowing costs unchanged. Vincent?
Well, as always, Alexis, thank you very much. Africa 54 business correspondent Alexis Christoforous joining us live from New York.